Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Literature Podcast with your host, Susan. Today, we will be diving into the fascinating world of memoirs, a genre where reality intertwines with creativity to give birth to compelling narratives that echo in the hearts of readers across the globe. We will try to unwrap the art of sculpting personal experiences into potent literature. Memoirs have always been a fascinating genre for readers and writers alike. Unlike an autobiography that chronicles a person's life from birth to the present, memoirs focus on a specific aspect, event, or period in a person's life, offering an intimate lens into their world. They provide a profoundly personal perspective, and yet they are able to touch us, the readers, at a very human level. Their power lies in their honesty and their ability to present the universal human experience through individual stories. Take, for instance, The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. In this memoir, Walls recounts her nomadic and poverty-stricken upbringing with her dysfunctional family. Her childhood, filled with neglect and hardship, is far from idyllic. Yet, it's the crafting of her experiences that makes this memoir so captivating. Walls doesn't present her life for us to pity. Instead, she illustrates the power of resilience and the ability to find beauty amidst the harshest realities. In doing so, she transforms her personal narrative into a universal exploration of resilience and redemption. But how do memoirists do it? How do they take the raw, unfiltered, often painful moments of their lives and shape them into a narrative that not only makes sense to them, but also resonates with readers who have never experienced those specific moments? This is where the artistry comes into play. It's about finding the right angle, the correct lens through which to present their story. It's about identifying the themes that run through their life and teasing those out in the narrative. It's about revealing the truths about themselves, their world, and perhaps the human condition in a way that is deeply personal and yet profoundly universal. A memoir can make us laugh, cry, empathize, and most importantly, reflect. It shows us that we are not alone in our struggles, joys, and life's many curveballs. A great memoir is a mirror that reflects the universal human experience through a single personal narrative. It's not just the memoirist's life on the pages, it's our life too, in all its glory and complexity. And therein lies the beauty of memoirs. They transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, personal into universal, and reality into literature. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of memoirs, explore their structure, discuss their impact, and celebrate their contribution to the literary world. In our exploration of memoirs, we must not overlook one very significant feature: the challenge of memory itself. After all, memoirs are hinged on recollection, but how reliable is our memory? How does the memoirist navigate this complex terrain of subjective recall and still offer a narrative that resonates with objective truths? Consider Mary Kerr's The Liars Club. The memoir explores Kerr's turbulent Texas childhood with a special focus on her relationship with her charismatic yet volatile mother. Kerr admits that reconstructing the past isn't always a straightforward process. Memory can be fickle, and our understanding of past events can shift over time. She says, each of us remembers the past as a function of who we are now. Each new hour nudges our memory into another shape. What Kerr does to counter this subjectivity is to focus on evoking the emotional truth of her experiences. In doing so, she illustrates the concept of memoirs as not just a recitation of factual events, but as a capturing of emotional truths through the prism of personal experiences. This brings us to another pivotal aspect of memoirs, the author's vulnerability. Memoirs often require the author to excavate their deepest, sometimes darkest, memories and present them for public consumption. This process can be cathartic, yes, but it also requires courage. There is a rawness in this form of literature that can be both beautiful and terrifying. When a writer allows themselves to be vulnerable on the page, it opens up a space for readers to connect, empathize, and realize they are not alone in their experiences. In her memoir, Wild, Cheryl Strayed details her grueling hike across the Pacific Crest Trail following the devastating loss of her mother. Throughout her journey, she is brutally honest about her physical struggles, emotional turmoil, and personal failings. This vulnerability adds an extra layer of realism and relatability to her narrative, allowing readers to witness her transformation in real time and perhaps see a mirror to their own. So, in the process of penning a memoir, the writer doesn't just recount a series of events. They dissect and display their emotions, analyze their actions and reactions, and embark on a journey of self-reflection and discovery. Through their stories, they allow us a glimpse into their souls and maybe even offer us a mirror into our own. Welcome back to our exploration of memoirs, a genre where life and art intertwined. Let's now turn our attention to another aspect that makes memoirs so fascinating: their power to voice the experiences of the marginalized, the overlooked, and the silent. Persepolis, Marjane Satrapi's memoir, for instance, gives voice to an Iranian girl growing up during the Islamic Revolution. Through a combination of black and white comic strips and text, Satrapi provides us with a glimpse into a world many of us might never otherwise know. We see the struggles, the defiance, the loss, the humor, and the resilience of a young girl coming of age in a country marked by profound political upheaval. Satrapi's memoir is a testament to the power of personal narratives to illuminate the human stories that often get lost in broad-stroke portrayals of history and culture. Equally, memoirs can also serve as a vehicle for social critique. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Maya Angelou's seminal memoir, does just that. She gives a heart-rending account of her childhood experiences of racism and trauma in the American South, thereby exposing the deep-seated racial discrimination that underpins American society. But the memoir also serves as a triumphant assertion of Black identity, resilience, and liberation. Angelou uses her personal narrative as a springboard to address broader social and racial issues, thereby giving her memoir a significance that reaches far beyond her own life. But it isn't just the grand narratives of socio-political commentary that give memoirs their power. It's also the quiet, introspective ones, the personal contemplations on life, death, love, and loss. Take, for example, Joan Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking. In it, Didion chronicles the year following the death of her husband, John Gregory Dunn. In the face of such a profound personal loss, Didion interrogates her grief, wrestling with the ways in which it shifts her perception of the world and herself. Her introspective journey strikes a chord with anyone who has experienced loss, reminding us that even in our most personal experiences, we are connected to others. In all these examples, memoirs serve as a bridge, linking the intensely personal with the universally human, illuminating experiences that might otherwise remain shrouded in obscurity. After the break, we will look at the craft of writing memoirs and how authors use literary techniques to shape their real-life narratives. Now that we have seen the powerful impact these narratives can have, let's shift our focus to the process of crafting them. The task of turning life experiences into a compelling narrative can be a daunting one. It involves more than just recounting events. It's about weaving these events into a story that engages readers and communicates deeper truths. Joan Didion once said, "We tell ourselves stories in order to live." In memoirs, authors tell their stories not just for themselves, but for us, the readers. They use literary devices like imagery, symbolism, and pacing to enhance the storytelling. Just like in fiction, these elements can heighten the emotional impact and deepen our understanding of the events being described. Let's consider the memoir Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. The book details Gilbert's journey across Italy, India, and Indonesia following a devastating divorce. Gilbert uses vivid descriptions to make her experiences come alive. When she writes about her time in Italy, the reader can almost taste the pizzas, feel the cobblestone streets under their feet, and hear the bustling city sounds. The richness of her descriptions makes her journey palpable to the reader, allowing us to accompany her on her path to self-discovery. Memoirs also often employ the use of reflection and introspection. This is more than just a narration of events. It's an examination of these events and their impact on the author's life. In Wild, Cheryl Strayed reflects on her decision to hike the Pacific Crest Trail following her mother's death and her divorce. As she battles the physical challenges of her journey, she also grapples with her inner turmoil. This introspection adds depth to her story, enabling readers to connect with her experiences on a deeper, more emotional level. Ultimately, the magic of memoirs lies in their ability to turn the lens inward, to explore the depths of human experience, and to make sense of the world through personal narrative. Whether they shed light on unfamiliar cultures, offer social critique, or provide a space for introspection and healing, memoirs tap into the shared human experience, reminding us of our shared vulnerabilities, triumphs, and quests for meaning. As we wrap up today's podcast, I invite you to explore the world of memoirs, to discover the stories that resonate with you, and to perhaps find inspiration to pen your own life experiences into a narrative. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Susan, signing off until our next journey into the captivating world of literature.